Hey everybody, welcome to our channel living in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Taylor Jefferson and I'm your Richmond relocation expert. This video is part one of a three-part series going over how much homes cost in different zip codes around Richmond. Today's video is going to cover 9 of the most popular zip codes within the suburbs, and in the future I'm going to do another video about the city and even one covering the more rural areas too. So be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out. Since I've broken down the numbers by zip code, this will be a great way for you to compare what different areas offer you in terms of bang for your buck. I'll show you where the zip codes are located, and I'll tell you about the average sold price, the average size, year built, price per square foot, and more. And to make sure that you don't get bored to tears listening to me just talk about numbers, I'm going to include video footage of these areas while I'm talking about them, so that way you can see these areas for yourself. Be sure to watch this whole video because you might just find your next place to call home. More than likely, this isn't your first time to our channel, but if it is, welcome. I'm Taylor Jefferson, and I am now co-lead of Team Hensley, and I have helped hundreds of families from literally all over the world relocate to Richmond. Partnering with Team Hensley has given me the capacity to help even more people relocate to Richmond and continue to make these videos. So if you're thinking about moving here, here are 3 things that you need to do. The first is to download our updated Richmond Relocation Guide by visiting our new website, richmondrelocationguide.com. The guide is full of useful information all about Richmond and the surrounding areas. The second thing to do is to visit our YouTube homepage and look at our playlist that says Start Here, and at a minimum, give the first 2 videos a watch. After doing so, you'll have a much better idea of where you might want to live and where you'll find homes matching your search criteria. And the third thing to do is to explore our playlist and videos that focus on the areas that you identified as potentially good fits from step 2. This will greatly speed up your knowledge of Richmond and the surrounding counties. Or just give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and I promise within just a few minutes, you'll know I'm the real deal. Now, with all that said, let's dive into how much homes cost in the suburbs. Just so you know, here's how I gathered this information. I searched through single-family home sales for each zip code from the past 180 days, so this information is current as of fall of 2025. I excluded new construction and focused only on resale homes to keep things in apples-to-apples comparison. Leave us a comment if you want these stats on another zip code that I didn't cover in this video. I wanted to start our 3-part video series with the suburbs because this is where the vast majority of our relocation clients end up buying. So let's get the painful ones out the way and we'll start with the most expensive. So I'm going to start with zip code 23233, which is the northern Short Pump area located in western Henrico County, just south of Broad Street. Commercially, anything and everything you could ever want is located right here, and most of our relocation clients resonate with this area. But that said, the housing market is somewhat difficult because you don't get a lot of bang for your buck. The average year built in this zip is right around 1990, so prepare yourself to find a lot, and I mean a lot, of colonial-style floor plans. The average sold price over the past 6 months was $598,000, and that would get you a 4-bed, 2.5-bath home with around 2,400 square feet. If the home was updated / if it was an above average home, then you should expect to pay more. I've been through so many $600,000 homes in this zip code that still have 1990s original bathrooms and only slightly updated kitchens, if updated at all. So while a lot of our relocation clients like the area and the nearby commercial amenities, a lot of those clients end up purchasing a home elsewhere. Located directly north to Short Pump is the western Glen Allen area. I recently made a video comparing and contrasting Short Pump and western Glen Allen. Despite their proximity to each other, the real estate offerings between these 2 areas vary greatly. I definitely recommend giving that video a watch to see what I mean. Now, Glen Allen is made up of 2 different zip codes, with 23059 located to the north of 295 and 23060 located to the south of 295. With what I'm about to tell you, you'll see that there is a price difference north versus south, but what the averages don't tell you is the big differences are more so an east versus west discussion. The western parts of each zip code are more expensive. 23059 is the more expensive of the 2 zip codes and contains some excellent neighborhoods like Wyndham and Twin Hickory and a lot of other great ones located right off of Knuckles Road. Of the homes that sold in the past 6 months, the average sold price in 23059 was $786,000 with an average size of over 3,200 square feet and a year built of 2004. So comparing it with Short Pump, homes in this zip are larger, newer, and more expensive. Heading south below 295, the homes within zip code 23060 are on the average smaller and older with a little over 1,900 square feet and a year built of 1986. You'll find lots of colonials and capes, and as mentioned, 23060 is cheaper than the Glen Allen zip code to the north by more than $300,000 on average. but a big part of the price difference comes down to the size of the home, as the average price per square foot is very similar in both Glen Allen zip codes. So the question really becomes, what is your budget and how much space do you need? And remember, as a rule of thumb, the further east that you go, the cheaper it gets. So now we're going to travel south of the river into Midlothian. Midlothian is comprised of 3 different zip codes, and 23113 is the northernmost one. This area is the Robius Road corridor, and within it you have some excellent neighborhoods located here, including Tarrington, Salisbury, Riverton, Rosemont, and more. Due to its proximity to all that Midlothian Turnpike has to offer, and the fit and feel of these neighborhoods, this zip code carries the highest average cost of the 3 Midlothian zip codes, sitting at just over $800,000. But similar to what you saw in Glen Allen, you also get a much larger home compared to the other 2 zips, with 23113 homes having on average more than 3,500 square feet. 23113 is definitely a zip code that should be on your short list. 23114 is the middle zip code of Midlothian and includes neighborhoods like Charter Colony, The Grove, Queensgate, and Walton Park, all of which are really great neighborhoods and provide you with a wide array of different types of homes. The average sold price in this zip over the past 6 months was only $510,000, and in return you'd get around a 2,500 to 2,600 square foot home built in the mid-90s. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule, with Charter Colony being from the 2000s, with plenty of homes much larger and more expensive than that, but the highest price sale in this zip code was only $795,000, and that one was in Charter Colony. If your budget is within the 500s to 600s, this zip code will deliver a ton of results for you with a decent range of year built and size options for you to pick from. Located to the west and to the south is the final Midlothian zip code of 23112. This is another very mixed bag where, again, the averages don't really tell the full story. Within 23112, you have some excellent luxury and newer construction neighborhoods to the northwest, like Halsley, Newmarket Estates, as well as a lot of more affordable neighborhoods with smaller and older starter homes. The price range for 23112 spans more than $1.5 million wide, so while the average over the past 6 months was $527,000, most of the homes here are either well above that price or well below that price. And this zip has the most recent average year built for homes within the 3 Midlothian zip codes, but there are outliers that are much older than the average, like the Brander Mill and Woodlake neighborhoods from the 1970s and 1980s. This next zip code is 23120, which is the Moseley area, and that is my home away from home, especially along the eastern edge of the zip code. This is where many of the newer construction communities are located, and where I have my eye on for continued development in the future. The average year built is 2010, which is the youngest of this entire video, and it has the second lowest average price per square foot, sitting at only $210. This means if you're looking for a more recently built home, you should definitely explore Moseley. You'll get a larger, newer, and cheaper home in this area compared to the other zips. The average sold price was $673,000, and that'll get you just above 3,300 square feet in return, and it's probably a much more updated open concept floor plan. Part of the reason for this is because of its distance from the other suburbs and from the city itself. If you want a newer home and can handle a little bit longer of a drive commuting to and from this area, this is a great place to look. Now, let's leave the western suburbs and head to the northeast and visit Mechanicsville, which is comprised of 2 zip codes. 23111 is located to the southeast edge and is comprised of both suburbs and rural homes, with the suburban neighborhoods being located closer to Mechanicsville Turnpike and 295. As you head further east, going past Walnut Grove Road, it gets real rural real quick. 23111 is the cheaper of the 2 zip codes in Mechanicsville, with an average price sitting below $420,000. You can expect to find homes with around 1,900 square feet for this price, but they are a little bit older with an average year built of 1985. The price per square foot is $230 per square foot, and just a few years ago it was sitting at $205, so there has been some price appreciation here. Alright, last zip code for today. 23116 sits further north of where we just were and is a bit newer and more expensive than 23111. While it has a cheaper price per square foot, the average sold price is higher because the homes are larger, with an average size just under 2,600 square feet, and again newer than the southern zip code with the year built of 1993. Usually the Mechanicsville area tends to be the value play, where you'll get a lot more for your money than in the west, but you have to be okay with some compromises. We actually just made a video about living in the suburbs of Mechanicsville, so if you want to learn more about this area, give that video a watch. It's nice to be back and making videos again. Sarah and I got to the point where we were so busy working with relocation clients that we couldn't keep up with making these videos. Now that we've partnered with Team Hensley, I now have the staff and support to keep up with everything. So you'll be seeing a lot more of us than in the past few years. I will do another pricing update video focusing on the city next and then the rural areas around RVA last. I'm also going to start doing a lot more social media, so be sure to follow us at Team Hensley. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. Please let me know if there are any types of videos you want to see in the future. And if you're thinking about relocating to the Richmond area, be sure to reach out to me. I have the knowledge and experience to help make your move as stress-free and easy as possible. Thanks for being here with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.